Maybe we could get down and we could figure something out there, huh? Huh, Bobby boy? Huh? That would be fun.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 219th edition of Louis Black's Rantcast, entitled What I Miss. Yeah, what did I miss? It's hard to miss anything, really, but even as I traveled as far away from Atlanta as I could to go to the Louis Black Invitational Golf Tournament, as I told you last week, to raise money for the incredible organization called the Luv U Project. And first off and foremost, let me thank the folks. There was 3 of them that I know of, and hopefully others will join them, sending in a donation to what is a remarkable organization, which is doing better and better work and is really making inroads in its fashion of bringing together folks who have some answers to what's going on out there when it comes to our mental health, which is crumbling in front of us momentarily, every which way. Where do you want to turn? It's going there, it's dropping our mental health, and it has been for quite some time, because we are really lacking an ability to speak any clarity to each other because we don't share the same reality, okay? That doesn't help. There are a whole lot of other reasons behind that, but that one really doesn't help when you're just making shit up and then believing in the shit that you made up, like our remarkable head of Health and Human Services, the extraordinary Robert Kennedy Jr. Woo! He pointed out this week, I'm going to go and read you a little something, is regarding those with autism and their families. And these are kids, these are the those with autism, are kids who will never pay taxes. Not true. Many of them do, because many of them have jobs. They'll never hold a job. Not true, because many of them have jobs. They'll never play baseball. Maybe not, but I'm sure they'll play baseball, some of them. That's right. Maybe not professionally, and you didn't either, did you, Mr. Robert Kennedy Jr.? You did not get to play baseball. And they'll never write a poem. How do you fucking know this? Huh? They'll never go out on a date. There's a whole fucking TV show devoted to it. All right? Do you turn your television on? Do you know what century we're in? Huh? 21st. Okay? You're back there with witch doctors and voodoo, and probably witch doctors know more than you do. Okay? Because you do that hoodoo that nobody does at all. You are just, and most of them, and this is this is really the final. Most of them will never use a toilet unassisted. Okay, enough is fucking enough. All right, and he's in charge of Health and Human Services, and meanwhile, getting rid of tons of people, who work in that division, who basically deal with our health. And why would you get rid of them? Okay, if we got a problem that's this severe as you see it, and it is severe, for God's sake, but not on the level that you're talking about. It's just the number of kids who, it's because it's because of vaccinations, huh? I don't think so. But it would be nice to really, even though we've kind of been through this argument a lot, and you've come out on the losing end, and every so often you go, well, maybe not, like your measles thing, which is also starting to skyrocket a bit, certainly more than it should be in a place that didn't have measles. Good God. Huh? And this is, I'm missing stuff doing this. And this is what I immediately turn the corner, turn my phone on, and to see this bullshit come out. Huh? And I'm trying to raise some money for an organization that deals with mental health. Okay? Because it's back on us. Because the money that was put into the system in order to deal with health. God. You have decided that, oh no, we need to save that money. Well, you could have used those 10,000 people that you took away their jobs, and I think there's another 10,000. So there are 20,000. Might have had them focus on helping us figure out the mystery of autism. Okay? Maybe we could get down and we could figure something out there, huh? Huh, Bobby boy? Huh? That would be fun. It didn't matter. I didn't miss any. I missed a lot more, I hope. Let me know. Send in a rant. Tell me what I missed this past week. It went really great. We were able to raise some money, and we did better than we did last year, which is always terrific. And we're in that position because we just got to cut all sorts of funds everywhere when it comes to the kind of things that the federal government can do in terms of research and otherwise. NIH, National Institute of Health, that would be good to keep the money in there, but we're cutting it back because these people are just criminals. They're in there, they're scientific criminals. They're just scraping money off the top. Of course, there are people in medicine who are fucking around, okay? But most of them get involved with it for all the right reasons. And we need to be able to take we are left to our own devices, okay? We've got someone like the extraordinary Rich Mattingly, who has started the Luv U Project. Go look. It's the Luv U, LUVU Project, PROJECT.org. Go check them out. Take a look at their website, and you'll see what they are up to, which is trying to find as many ways as possible to deal with the problems of mental health. I've talked about this last week, and if you didn't hear last week's, go listen to the beginning of that Rantcast, which was about this, okay? Because we are really left to our own devices. Because they're going to take away all the money that was coming in, so we're going to have to figure out all sorts of ways to collect money in order to find ways to deal with the problems that we have. Because Lord knows tax money can't be used for that, because that would be socialism. You don't want to socialize the health system. Woo! No, you wouldn't want to be able to put money toward research and find all sorts of ways that we might be able to help folks who are bring mental health to the workplace, where I'm sure that all sorts of shit goes on. It's why I avoided the workplace. Okay, I never did well there. And I'm reminded that Kathleen Madigan and myself did a fundraiser at the University of Missouri for the Thompson Center for Autism and Neurodevelopment. And because that's what we do in order to make it possible for hopefully the work can be done, because we went and raised money to be sure that these kids are provided with the tools and the help that will allow them to grow developmentally, and because that's important, as opposed to making nonsense remarks while cutting 10,000 employees from the Health and Human Resources Department that is so vital to our people. I'm not sure if that made total sense, but I think my heart was in the right place when I said it. And I've had a long week. I was playing golf. And we won. My team won. And on my team was the fabulous Marklin Baker, who's not much better a golfer than I am. But we did have two extraordinary ringers, Peter Costas, who has been a huge help in terms of making the Lewis Black Invitational Golf Tournament, I think, a success for sure, and brings a great deal to the event, as did Maury Povich, who was also on our team. And I'll be doing his podcast this week. So I look forward to that, and hope you get to hear it. But we won the low gross, meaning that they had to actually take some of my scores and take some of Mark's scores and put them together with and even putting the the two anchors that we were with the two really good golfers, we were able to win uh, with the scores we made. The best scores is you play all four balls. Everyone plays their own ball, and the best score is put in the little in one of the put and the best, and we take the best score from the four. That's what I'm trying to say, and we put it in there, and we won, which has never happened. Uh, I've won occasionally over the 28 years, 29 years that I've done the tournaments for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and now the Luv U Project, and but this was a big win. And I want to thank Gus Colares for the great bottle of wine that we were given as we were winners. He is a huge contributor to the organization. Has Colares wines? Look it up. Well worth your time and well worth a glug glug because they're terrific. And I'm going to say that take a look if you. I know it's pricey, but if it's something that you can afford, it's well worth the trip next year. We haven't decided where we're going to be. It's 2 days of golf and a night of comedy. And I want to thank, by the way, Michael Costa, who did a great job along with Emily Catalano. If you've not seen, well, Michael, I think you may have seen because he's the host of he hosts the Daily Show once a month, and 1 week a month. And Emily Catalano is a comedian you're going to be hearing more about because she's just got is a wickedly good writer and is just a pleasure to she's fucking funny, and I want to thank both of them for giving their time and energy and really making that comedy night a success and covering up the errors that I may have left in my wake. Because after 2 rounds of golf, me coming in to do comedy at the end and then feeling obligated, I didn't even need to go long, but I feel like, well, I really should give them as much as I can. I've learned my lesson. I'll rely on the others. They really did knock it out of the park, and I want to thank both of them for making it really quite a special evening. So take a look, follow at lovuproject.org and see where we're going to be at. And I'm going to mention it because I'm going to push it a little this year. I'm going to make a push to see if folks want to join us. And I want to just thank you for listening to me go on about that right after I went crazy about the extraordinary insight that our man who loves the measles like nobody's business, Robert Kennedy Jr. So want to thank you for hanging in until I got to that. Also, I missed this, but caught up with it was that our man Musk, as we like to say, called the USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, which is around a long time, and does really great work, okay? And does the kind of work that helps. And it does the kind of work that helps America be appreciated. And we're creating a vacuum that will be filled by people that we don't want to fill that vacuum, like the Chinese. I mean, it'd be great if they do it other than to try to control it. But it's really about us. It's our form of giving. It's $40 billion. That's it for the whole world. And a lot of it has to do with feeding children. And that's all money we grab back because we want to be sure that, and then meanwhile, they say they're bringing it back to the United States because we want to take care of our own and 500,000 children. They are now making sure, or thinking about, or doing whatever they can to take away the Head Start program, okay? Which will help the kids, okay? Those who need it the most. So we're really gonna, well, that's why we're doing this thing. Just explain it to us, okay? They did remarkable work for years, the USAID. And I'm not gonna sit here. I could sit here and read out a list of stuff that they do. And I don't have to make up shit about what these idiots, the way they make up shit. Well, boy, there were blind people, and due to the USAID, all sorts of people in this small part of Nigeria, they couldn't see. They came there, and due to the eye drops they were given, every one of them can see now, and all of them are going to be able to participate in the Olympics. Okay, and certainly are going to be the greatest fly fishermen in the history. Jeez, and that would be the kind of shit they would say if they were working for the USAID and trying to make sure that they got the money. I'm losing my mind. This is madness. Okay? All right? It's why we do it. We do it to help these people. If that's it alone, it's really important. It's called being Christian, and that's what Easter Sunday, which is where I'm talking to you from right now, being Jewish, I can take this time to remind many of you Christians out there who may have forgotten what Christianity is, that it's one of the things you might want to do is to help people, okay, who don't have your skin color and live in other countries and are desperate for help, all right? And that's what we provided, and that's what we gave. Or we're not going to do that anymore because the USAID is a criminal organization. What are you, fucking nuts? Huh? I need information. I need facts. Okay? This has got to stop. Elon Musk, who's gotten billions of dollars because he's developed A, B, and C, there's nothing criminal in his organization. Nah, not at all. Certainly. Nothing criminal about the way that he's managed to not pay much in taxes, considering the amount of money he's raised. Not at all. I'll shut up, okay? Well, you can't really prove it. I don't have to prove it, all right? I'm pretty sure I'm right, okay? Because I've made a certain amount of money in my life, and they certainly do everything they can to protect it. Am I happy about that? Yeah, because I try to do what I can to get it back out, and I will leave behind money that will get back out to people who need that money. All sorts of things that I hope that I'm able to support after I've passed. Okay? And I'm going to, because it's got to be done, especially now, especially if this madness that we're in now, this kind of level of, boy, we better keep this money for reasons that we can't explain. They'll get to stop. So what we're doing is we are, whether we like it or not, doing everything we can to destroy our relationship with the world. And really, it's not right. And they're not going to trust us anymore. And they're going to trust countries that who don't share our self-interest at all. They're our enemies. And they will come in and fill the void because they don't trust us. And that's the way it'll play out. And that's the way it's rolling right now. And it's been done in recordly fast fashion. So all of you out there who think this is remarkable what's occurring, and we're really getting to the bottom of it, we're not even close. And a lot of what you're hearing isn't even true. Probably not even for me. I don't have the time and the energy to give you all the facts that are sitting right there. All I can do is go, look at this, try to pay attention to it. I do know that we're not doing all we can. I know that today is the day he rose. And he rose, and if he rose today and is taking a good look around, I will tell you this, he's going, Jesus is saying his own name, Jesus Christ, he's saying. Jesus is saying, Jesus Christ, what is going on here? That's maybe the dumbest joke. It may not even be a joke, but I'm sharing it with you. And I don't even know if it'll end of the Rantcast because we may edit that out. That Jesus is saying Jesus, and you can't hardly blame him if he's looking around today. Can't at all. Meanwhile, Chris Van Hollen, the senator from my old state where I was born and raised, Chris Van Hollen from Maryland, went and spent time with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The one that they have not shown is actually a member of a gang, and but he might have tattoos, and That's reason enough. Now, they used to put tattoos on the Jews in order to in Hitler's Germany, they put those numbers on, and now if you're wearing tattoos, they'll take you away for that because it means you're in a gang. And they haven't proved anything. They even said that they took him to El Salvador to put him in a jail in another country. Insane, insane, insane. That's insane. There's nothing to argue about. Why? Because it's insane. Okay? We don't do that. All right? The reason we don't do that is because sometimes we incarcerate people who shouldn't be incarcerated and they need to be in the United States. And one would think that we might want to kind of, bring them back into the society, but we've not figured that out. All we want not to do is to punish the shit out of them, especially those who have tattoos, especially with skulls and stuff and crazy things, weird, black widow spiders, whatever else that might be a symbol of crazy gangdom. But he went down to see him, and the wizard, the the grand wizard of El Salvador, whatever they call that guy. Wow, he said, "Boy, see, we gave him we look at this set. We got him a really great setup that he could go there. Kilmore could have margaritas with Senator Holland, and see how well we treat our prisoners. What the fuck?" So we send him down to a thug to put him in a prison. Okay? And seriously? But he's okay. He hasn't got any, has no tattoos, the Grand Wizard. So he's clean. God, it was just weird to watch. And somehow I stumbled into that, and I shouldn't have, because I was supposed to be at a golf tournament. And then on Thursday, which is the other reason I'm kind of worn out, I did, and it was fun and just a long week of performance. I did Wait, Don't Tell Me. And no, I had a great time with Dulcie Sloan, very funny lady that I know from The Daily Show. Alonzo Bowden, who I've known forever, and had a lot of time that I've worked with him as a comic on the road and in New York and in L.A. I really probably in both spots of another very funny man. It was a pleasure to see him, and Adam Burke, who I didn't know, and it was great to meet him. All very funny. It was great to be able to do that show, and I had a great time. And it was at DPAC, the Durham Performing Arts Center, where I set the record. It turns out. I've now been on that stage 10 times, and in order to maintain that record, I'm going to have to appear there every year until I pass, and then come back and just haunt the place. And when what's his name? When my friend, what's his name? When Jim Gaffigan, who had tied me, tries to get in, I'm going to stand behind him and go boo and scare him away. But it was great. I love that space, and I love performing there, and it was just a lot of fun. So it's time to wrap this up. I am tired. I'm tuckered out. I'm going to leave you with something and call it a day. Here we go. As things get more insane, the Atlantic reported that Interior Secretary Doug Burgum has not only ordered political appointees to master the art of baking fresh cookies in the department's industrial ovens, but on at least one occasion has demanded subordinates remake the cookies because the batch was subpar. And we're worried about the time and energy that people are putting into their government jobs, and this idiot is having them bake cookies and obviously testing them because he's got that much time on his hands. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about this stuff. I don't know how to make that funnier. Once again, you take that's a whole chapter of a book. This is Catch-22. That's what that is. Read it if you've not read Catch-22. It comes somewhat close to describing some of the folks that you're seeing who are now in positions of power. But Also, there is coming to us from Texas, which neck and neck with Florida for places that seem to elect folks that, and Georgia too, uh, with the Marjorie Taylor Greens. But they really, this one is a new Texas bill, would make it a felony to identify as transgender. It was introduced by State Senator, GOP Representative Tom Oliverson, whatever it is. I don't care. By Tommy. The legislation defines gender identity fraud as making any false or misleading verbal or written statement, either to a government entity or to an employer, in which a person declares their sex as the opposite of the biological sex assigned to the person at birth. Those found guilty could face up to 2 years in prison. What is the matter with these people? Okay? What is the matter with them? What do they give a shit? Huh? And then we'll find out that we always find out that somebody who's mucking about and yelling about this stuff is doing something that's so perverse on another level. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just crazy. Because really, literally, for someone to basically declare that they are, they feel that they are inhabiting a body that is not their body because they are either a male inhabiting a female's body or a female inhabiting a male's body, and they need to identify themselves as the other sex. What do you give a shit? You know how hard that is? You know what level of it takes psychologically to be able to deal with that? Just to deal with it as a problem that one faces. You can't face it, Tommy. Okay? And you shouldn't be putting an extra burden on them. And it's got to stop. Okay? Just stop it. It's not your worry. It's not your concern. They don't even come into your life, Tom. Okay? All right? As it is, it's gonna be tough enough for them to deal with those around them for the rest of their life. You don't have to make it more difficult, and you certainly don't need to send them to jail. All right? Where they just might have the shit kicked out of them, or who knows? They may be more accepting of that, but they can't be any less accepting than you are. And you're really, and what you're doing and what you're saying, in a sense, to me, is criminal. And you call yourself a representative of the people, go fuck yourself. Okay? Who is it that you're representing? All right? Other than looking for a few votes for somebody who's got a real problem when it comes to the reality of this century. And the kids that are being born and raised now, they look at it completely different, Tommy. Completely different. I wish you would. But you won't be hearing this Rantcast, I'm sure. You know, I'm far enough away from your border that you can't toss me out of the state of Texas. And so let's get out of here. Let's get back to having a good day and enjoying ourselves and have fun and have the time of your life. And I'm going to hopefully get a chance to drink this Gus Calaris wine in celebration of my victory at the Lewis Black Invitational Golf Tournament. I know that it's just as mind-boggling in some ways. Tommy, that's more of a crime that they have named a golf tournament after me than if someone says that they were born a male and they declare that they're a female, Tommy, because they know better than you do. So I wish you all a great week. Please, if you want to get something off your chest, especially those of you who might have, you know, right now in terms of what Tommy has just mentioned, if you've got a reaction to what I just talked about, please send it in. If you know somebody personally who's had to deal with this nonsense, send it in. Rant, let it rip. I love that you continue to get them out there, and please do, as I will continue to read them, and I will have more and more time now to be able to do that. And I'll have a little more energy this week because I'll be able to rest up a little. And then remember, next week, April 29th, I will be in Chapel Hill at Memorial Hall. Join me there if you can. If not, just have a great week. All right? And remember, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Thanks for all you do for me. And it's a privilege and a pleasure, really, to spend time with you. Happy Easter. He is risen. Oh, and I forgot. Happy Passover. I missed it last week because I don't get the New York Post, and that's how I used to be able to remember if it was Passover or not. Not something I do anymore, but I want to wish you a happy one if that's what you celebrate. Take care. A rant here from Ross Parks, and I'm kind of surprised it took so long for somebody to rant about this. Louis, I'm writing this rant in hopes that I can bring attention to the one thing that can unite us all. Not just you as Americans, we as Canadians, but all of us around God's little green acre. That, my friend, is the need for us to call up arms and destroy the vilest, most disgusting thing known to mankind. People kind, if you listen to that ignoramus, asshole, dumb fuck Justin Trudeau. The fucking olive. Louis, I hate them all. Every salty, pitted, pickled motherfucking one of those cocksuckers. I don't give a flying fuck if they're green, black, purple, or brown. I do not discriminate. They all fucking suck. Put them in a jar. You're an asshole. Put them on a toothpick. Fuck you. And if you dare put them on my pizza, I'm punching you right in the dick. Fuck you. And olive oil. Fuck that shit too. The only use for that is moisturizing my sack. And yes, I use it on my nuts. Why, you might ask? Reasonable enough question, Louis. Allow me to answer. If I'm going to use anything to remove sack wrinkles, it's going to be the lovely oregano-scented juice of the fruit family's taint. After all, that's what my nuts rest against. Plus, it makes my bag smell like pizza, and my wife loves pizza. In conclusion, Louis, fuck olives. They can lick my pizza-scented nuts. And go, Jays, go. Well, Ross, I expect some folks to respond to that, especially the martini drinkers, but we'll see. We will see what they have to say. To be honest, and in full disclosure, Ross, I love olives, and they make a salad kind of better than it should be. Okay, and thanks for sharing on all levels. From Nancy Genuine. Hey, Louis, recently I spent countless hours on the internet trying to log into a password-protected account, only to be locked out. I've come up with a solution. They should make separate password hints for people over 65. For example, if you use your favorite restaurant as a password, can't remember, the prompt should pop up like, what do you think your favorite restaurant is? Then if you miss, provide clues like it begins with an R and ends with an S. It should keep giving you clues until you can guess it and get into your account. I would like to bitch slap the person who thought of using a password in order to log into an account. Nancy, they have these things that'll, I'm just throwing this out, that it'll log all your passwords into, and then you just hit a button and it'll show up. But I can understand your anger. I've been through it. What I hate is when they don't give you the thing where you can reveal what your password is, so that you're typing in something and you got a password and then repeat the password and you can't see them, so you're spending hours going up. Oh fuck, I missed something, and then it says nope, they're not the same, and you screw it up. That drives me nuts. But I think there's some options, Nancy. You should talk to someone in the neighborhood. From Dave Greer, an interesting concept here. I have a great idea for those of us who want to make the big exit from it all. Drive through euthanasia. You could make it like a car wash, where you just sit back and let the fun begin. Your choice of scents available. disposal included. Yes, I think it's long overdue. A service that sings profit. Should be easy to get approval now. Funeral directors take note. This is a best way solution to a growing housing crisis. Just bury them. Have a great day. Thank you, Dave, for sharing that. I'm not, yeah, that I, well, I'm not even sure how to ask the question, Dave. So, but I appreciate your thought. From Daniel Nilson from the North Country. Hello, Lewis. This rant comes to you from Sweden. My name is Daniel, and I work at a public high school, which is a lot of fun. You know, students these days are so polite and thankful for the opportunities they are given. Ha, 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 ha. But that's not why I'm writing to you. I'm here to tell you about our stupid ass politicians in this fucking country of ours. God knows you've had your fair share of fuckwits, and now a narcissistic know it all demagogue. Congratulations. We Swedes may not be that far behind, I'm afraid. We as voters, as a collective nation, now have around 20 fucking percent in support of a nationalistic party with its origins in neo-Nazism. Oh boy. This is what is totally fucked in this little cold-ass nation of ours. The leaders of the party stood smiling next to an old Nazi called Franz Schönhuber in a photo as late as 1998. And this is fucking Sweden. We've had socialism working out pretty neat for us the last 100 years. Yeah, sure, the tax pressure is high, probably higher than most countries, but we can see an actual doctor and get a prescription from her at a cost of around $25. Seeing a dentist costs more, but it won't fucking ruin me either. Our streets have potholes, but they're usually fixed. We have a social network that actually works. No one has to fucking starve or live under a bridge unless they feel compelled to. Now I fear that our country is about to go straight down the drain. The privatization of public schools, health care, elder care, pharmacies, and fucking daily child care has gone too far. Everything is getting worse, and the pockets of the rich fucks with shares in every fucking company are getting bigger and deeper. Meanwhile, the average Joe, the Svensson, respectfully, is worried about crime, immigration, whether the family will be able to go skiing in the winter and go to Greece in the summer because of the inflation. Boo fucking who, you ignorant fucking assholes. Read a history book, listen to the news on the radio, and read a fucking newspaper. In it, you might learn that a lot of ex-politicians now have jobs for the private school industry. They are working for the same companies that they used to talk shit about. The current ones, the elected anointed ones, seem to be only looking out for themselves. It's like it's a career equals first 10 to 15 years in public office, making decisions that won't stop the robbing of the common good, and then switching to the private companies, receiving a job, playing fucking golf and lobbying to the new breed of politicians. And let me be clear on this, Lewis. Between 70 to 80 fucking percent of this population wants to ban the drain of taxpayers' money going to the rich in the private school industry. Yet these fucking assholes for politicians that we have can't make it so. Why? We regular folks are fucked in the ass no matter which way we turn. Fuck this shit. I can't go on any longer, but I hope you get the gist. One thing that you can take comfort in is the fact that a lot of Americans actually protest loudly and in numbers in the streets. We Swedes are too busy worrying about our diminishing holiday choices and going to the gym or eating chips or both. So we can't make it to the streets to say enough is fucking enough. Just too complacent. God, I hope that'll change someday. Thanks for letting me rant. I feel a tiny bit better. Loved your comedy. Thank you. And your Rantcast. Thank you again. Love Daniel Nilson from Sweden. Or Nilson. It's Nilson, I believe. I really appreciated that, Daniel. And good to know that we're not the only ones skidding down a slope of privatization. That's what we're dealing with. But we were always, more capitalistic. And so they're trying to privatize the schools here in some, ways. And, they're teaching kids at home now. We have homeschooling. We have all sorts of nonsense that you get a kick out of. So I'm really sad to see that they've gone the other way. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? You have a system that I've always said, hey, look at Sweden. Now I'm not going to be able to. Fuck, Daniel. Fuck. From Abigail Kimis. I'd like to preface my rant with the understanding that I don't eat pork for ethical reasons. Why in the fuck can I not find a goddamn breakfast sandwich that isn't smothered with pork products? For Christ's sake, there's usually not even an egg and cheese option without adding fucking bacon or sausage or ham. Give me a fucking break. I need protein in the goddamn morning so I can actually make it to lunch without passing out due to lack of protein. Chicken and turkey sausage fucking exist, but they sure as shit don't exist at any gas station or McDonald's that I have ever been to. Bacon is fucking overrated. It's pure salted pigskin, and it's disgusting. Please, can we fucking normalize having pork-free alternative meats for breakfast? Well, good luck with that, Abigail. There's also the Impossible sausage, which is, I will suggest, as someone who does eat pork because he loves it, and especially the little patties. They make the folks at the Impossible Meats. They make a good sausage. Something to think about. Maybe you can find that somewhere along the way. Right. Thank you for sharing, Abigail. And I hope you find a suitable pork substitute and a protein substitute, that is, that really hits you right where you want it to hit you. And I understand that. That morning meal makes a difference. And I can't believe I just went, that morning meal. Whew. Ryan Saltzman, and he's finished with something, and he's going to tell us about it. We are living in 2025, people. We've had 5 years of this virtual meeting nonsense. 5 years. And yet, every single day I join another meeting where someone's microphone is broadcasting their entire existence to 20 strangers. Why? Why is this still happening? You know what I heard yesterday? Some guy named Dave. I don't even know Dave. I heard him flush his toilet. That's right. 27 professionals waiting to discuss quarterly projections, and we're all treated to the dulcet tones of Dave's morning constitutional. Magnificent. And it's always the same excuses. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. Really? There's a giant red microphone on your screen. It's the only thing these platforms got right. A visual indicator that you are broadcasting your life to everyone. Then there's the people eating breakfast. Sorry, didn't realize you could hear my Captain Crunch destroying the roof of my mouth. Yes, we can hear it. We can hear everything. Your dog barking, your spouse asking if you've seen their keys, your mechanical keyboard that sounds like your Morse code coding a declaration of war. Huh? We put robots on Mars. We've got self-drying cars. We've got AI writing poetry and painting pictures. But apparently, the impossible technological hurdle of 2025 is remembering to check if your microphone is on. I propose a new law. If you join a meeting unmuted and assault our ears with your private symphony of domestic sounds, you should be forced to listen to a recording of yourself for the duration of the meeting. That's justice. And don't get me started on the people who figure it out halfway through their sentence. That John is a real asshole. Sudden silence. You're not fooling anyone, Karen. We heard you call John an asshole. The damage is done. At this point, it would be more efficient
if we just held our meetings in a crowded food court. At least there, the background noise would be strangers that I don't have to make eye contact with later. 5 years, people. Learn to mute. Well, Brian, I hope I did that justice, and I hope you enjoyed it, and as much as I did. I never enjoyed those virtual meetings, and I have these virtual interviews too that drive me nuts because I never know where to look. The whole thing makes me crazy. And there's something about looking at a screen, and especially 27 little screens. It's nonsense. It really is. Either have the meeting or don't have the meeting. All right? Maybe you could talk on the phone.
Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.